Goody everyone, this is Dayhawk bringing to you my take, my review of Kamen Rider Revice episode 31.
It was me, Ikki! It was me all along.
Yes, this episode was painfully obvious. Even though all arrows points to Jinko, it was Subaru all along. And the reason behind the whole demon plant and the stinky pollen hallucinations is because of him. And the reason behind it is so stupid, yet it's noble at the same time. I unleash my Deadman to make you remember what had happened between you two. Sorry. I'm like, that's the reason? There's no evil malice behind it? Is all for a noble cause? And it goes back to Wizard's second rule. The worst harms comes from the best of intentions. And this fits the bill. So painfully obvious. I never did like Subaru for whatever reason. It's just my instincts are kicking in that I just I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know what it is. But we all have human instincts when it comes to people. When you have someone who you saw for the first time and for whatever reason, good or bad, it's just like, something about him I cannot place. Why do I have this bad vibes about a certain person? Unless, we get to know them and talk to them, then the whole thing just wears off. But if not, then, it is what it is. But it was Subaru, and we know the reason why. And this episode gives me Wizard vibes, because in Wizard, a similar episode with a similar situation occurred in that particular season. So there's nothing new. The only major difference, aside from Subaru, the reason why he did what he did, is that both Ikki and Jico, I believe they were star players in their school. They want to go pro, and then all of a sudden in one practice match, Ikki accidentally injures Jinko to the point where the doctors told him he cannot play professionally anymore. And then we hit to the hospital scene where, strangely enough, Ikki is wearing a suit and he is crying. We don't see him on his knees, but we see him bowing, saying, "Please forgive me, it's not intentional, please." You see him crying like he really is, like, please. And Jinko, he's like, "Oh, it's okay." And here's another thing that the reason why Jinko was so angry is because Jinko and Ikki made a promise to each other that, I can't play pro anymore, but you could live out my dream. Do it for the both of us. Become pro. Please do it for me. And that's when Ikki, said, I will do it, for me and for you, But you see him in the back as he leaves the room. He is devastated. And then we cut into this next scene in the dreamscape that Ikki has been practicing every day, to become pro and this and that. But the main reason why he quit is because of the guilt for what he did, plus, the promise, and just everything was weighing on him that he decided to not pursue being a soccer player anymore. And here's the thing, and I have a question for you guys. Do you think that that's the main reason why he quit, because in episode 1 he had dreams of becoming pro, but he said to his parents that, the reason why I decided to stop, pursuing this career path is because of you guys, because you have nobody to take care of the spa. I love taking care of the spa. Why not, give it to me once you're unable to, that sort of thing. Because Daiji works for Phoenix and Sakura is too young, and she still has yet to decide whether or not she will also decide to work at the spa, to take care of it, take care of the family business. Do you guys think that reason alone was a to mask? Because okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Do you think that main reason that he decided to leave his dream was because of the parents thing, or the real hidden reason is because of what he did to Jinko? That's what I'm trying to say. Was it all a mask for, for what happened, the real reason behind it? What do you guys think? I'm sorry that I have been trouble explaining these things, but my mind is on fire and my words is all jumbled, so I do apologize on that. But hopefully you guys understood what I was trying to say. What else? Another thing too. Jinko was attacked by the prehistoric plant demon. And here's the part where I missed something. Like, how did Jinko and Ikki's dreams intersect each other? Because at the very tail end of the episode, you see Jinko and Ikki having this moment together and explaining what happened. And Ikki legitimately said that I did not remember, and he did not remember. And Jinko, oh, so you seriously didn't remember? And and just they had their talk. They became friends again, and he was apologizing too. That he was apologizing to Ikki for just giving him more of a burden about their promise of like bestowing Ikki, hey, you make pro for me and all that stuff. I think that's the reason why he apologized, because I felt guilty that I made you make this promise, and I didn't know how much it affected you, and I do apologize on that. So each made their apologies. They Jinko was like, if you want to become a writer, I'm rooting for you all the way. And the same goes with Ikki. If you want to pursue voice acting, I'm there for you, and they just punched their knuckles together and they are friends again. And we don't need to go into the 5. We all know what's going to happen. We know how it ends. Now, at the very tail end of the episode, the very end, I knew from the get-go what was the main reason why Ikki's images are disappearing. And Vice said it at best, that every time Ikki uses Vice's powers, the more you cease to exist, the more images of him disappear. So the same went with Hiromi. The more times he uses the demon driver with Veil, the more rapidly his health, becomes. Because remember, we discovered that Hiromi's health was that of an 80-year-old, and if he would have kept transforming, that was it. That could be his last. Same thing here with Vice. The difference is he will cease to exist by the time he hits another Henshin. And that's part of the contract, the side effect, I guess. Because, everything went back 18 years ago of the fire and all that stuff. So Again, it's so predictable, and I wish it wasn't so predictable. But I've been watching Writer for so many years now. It's come to the point where I can just point out things rather quickly and how predictable it will be. The only thing I didn't predict was Hiromi, because I assumed that either the crazy cuckoo director rescued him and repaired him in the sense of giving Gifu gifts cells into Hiromi, become the ultimate evil soldier like Kamen Rider Veil did in the very beginning, or you or he's been rescued by the weekend and maybe transformed into a cyborg and that sort of thing, you know. But what I didn't count on was that he was rescued, but he is staying at his mother's place with no memory. And George's DVD did not work because we haven't got any news that Hiromi has some sort of memory gain. We haven't heard nothing. So, yeah, George, your DVD sucks. I have to say, you suck. And speaking of George, while Sakura was fighting the demon plant, you see the urgency just staring at the demon driver, just like, I want to transform, I want it, I want to do it. And like, no, no. George, you can be a writer. Just fix the damn driver, be demons for the time being, at least until Hiromi can return. Or hell, just make a new driver for yourself. You can do it. Jesus Christ, you can do it. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. God damn it. You can tell he wants to be on the battlefield. He wants to be a writer, but I don't know what's stopping him. God. And speaking of George, his assistant stumbled across this weird interaction with crazy evil director, and he's talking to nobody. But then we discovered that he is talking to Veil. So that demon's soul was actually Veil. Me personally, I wish it was designed differently, but it's just, I don't know. It's just the studio being lazy, I guess. I mean, we've seen how lazy they are becoming. Because Veil looks like another Vice, and like, if that's Veil, I mean, you could at least design the spirit differently. But alright. And so Angelia, she's been following Sakura for a while, and she wants something from her. And it was during the whole encounter between the weekend boy and Angelia, and then Angelia was watching over this battle. She wants something, and at this point, I think she wants to die, because she was supposed to be Gift's wife, but Gift just discarded her, gave her the Will Smith slap, and that was it. She has nothing to live for anymore, and I feel bad for her. I really do. She needs a purpose in her life. We don't know what it is yet, and it's gonna happen in the next episode. But here's the thing that I want to happen, which unfortunately is not gonna happen. Is I want Takumi to be the one to save Angelia from herself. But in order to do that, he needs to have a driver. He needs to become a Kamen Rider in order to, save her. But it's not going to happen. That honor will either go to Sakura or will go to Ikki. And it's a shame, because there will be good character development between Takumi and Angelia. And you see how he is devoted to her and will do anything for her. So I don't understand why they won't do it, because me personally, after the whole Takumi Julio backstory, Angelia was the one who saved him. Why not have Takumi do the same for her? Why give it to Ikki or Sakura? Sakura, okay, sure. But Ikki, I understand he's the main star, but I feel like in the writing's point of view and the way their relationship is established, I seriously feel that Takumi needs to be the one. Because if it does, everything will come full circle. But unfortunately, the writers, I don't know. Yeah, the writers sometimes it says, ugh. Anyways, anything else important aside from the contract, the imaging disappearing, the whole culprit winning Subaru? I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then towards the end too, we get to see the voice actors for Vegeta and Love Code, which, by the way, Love Code, I don't understand why she is there. She's not really that useful. It's just like you see her just fighting, stumbling to walls, and like, oh, this is just so silly. Oh man, maybe hopefully when she gets an upgrade, maybe she can change as well, but I doubt it. But all right, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So what else towards the end? Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, another thing too, I wanted to ask you guys a question. How in the hell did Subaru get his hands on that V stamp? Because the cult is dead, it's gone. How in the hell did he get his hands on the V stamp? That's another mystery that needs to be solved. How did he get his hands on it? We may find out later, but I doubt it. And Subaru goes to jail, and Jiko gets his job because Subaru calls Jico like, "Hey, I am afraid that I'm not gonna be able to perform for a while. So can you please take over for a while until things get settled?" And Jico says yes, and he performs while Ikki is fighting the demon plant, and that's the end right there. Anything else? I think that's it, because I mean it's just this episode is just so predictable, and all roads pointed at Jinko, but it was actually Subaru, and the reason behind it is because it's just to help Ikki to remember what happened. Also, another thing too, he felt guilty for what happened in that practice round, and he never forgave himself for some reason, because it happened under his watch, and he felt guilt over the years. So that's his way of making amends, for his two apprentices. But again, the worst harms comes from the best of intentions. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it. It's over. And yeah, what do you think of the episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And if you dislike it, how would you change it? Give me everything. Put it right on the comments below. Also, go on my Etsy store. We sell Kamen Rider Arc 1 and Kamen Rider Night as drawings. So if you like them, please buy it. So that way we can make more writers, because I'm trying to tell my partner in crime, hey, we need to make more writers. But if he doesn't see any profit in selling writers, then there's nothing much he can do. There's nothing much that I can do. So please, we need to sell those so we can make more writers into our store. So please do. And the information will obviously be in the first half of the episode, so please. Anything else? I think that's it. Have a happy Easter, guys, and yeah, give a like if you like it, and please subscribe, because it really helps. And, I will see you all on the other side of Oblivion, guys. Johnny!